Chelsea Green is strongly voicing her opinion about a serious issue in WWE, so we'll see what that's all about. We'll also check out what's going on with NXT, Lola Vice, and more. Starting things off with everything related to the comments from Chelsea Green. For a long time in WWE, it was rough trying to make a name for yourself in the women's division because opportunities were very hard to come by. There was literally one single title for the entire women's division to go after. So unless you were that one single champion, chances are you weren't doing anything important on WWE television. This all changed several years ago when WWE decided to give each brand their own women's championship. So now, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT all have their own world champion in the women's division. And then, they introduced the women's tag team titles. And sure, the women's tag team titles have never properly been booked outside of Sasha and Bayley's reign during the Thunderdome era. But the titles are still great because it presented more opportunities in the women's division, which were desperately needed. And just recently, even more opportunity for the women's division were created through the introduction of women's mid-card titles. The women's division now has their own Intercontinental title and United States title. So the women's division has come a long way from that perspective. From having just one title up for grabs to now having 3 world titles, 2 mid-card titles, and a set of tag team titles up for grabs in the women's division. The opportunities have most definitely grown in the women's division. Although the mid-card titles are appreciated for bringing extra spotlight to the women's division, those titles have been criticized by fans since their inception due to the booking of the titles. Lyra was the first women's Intercontinental champion, but prior to Becky's return, that title felt invisible and non-existent. Lyra was the historical first champion that still wasn't getting any promo time and rarely even defended the title. The women's Intercontinental title has gotten to a much better place in current day, but a title that continues to deeply struggle in current day is the Women's United States Championship. The title got off to a hot start with Chelsea Green as its first champion. Chelsea won the title, started a faction, and started carrying herself as the president. She made the title interesting and fans loved the act. And then Chelsea dropped the title to Zelina Vega, which was another great feel-good type moment. It was Zelina's first singles title in WWE. Zelina and her fans waited a long time for that moment and opportunity. The title win meant a lot to Zelina personally, and she sure looked like she was ready to give a great reign and continue to prove herself as champion. But it felt like Zelina was never really given a fair shot as United States champion. The reign was extremely short, no real actual feuds took place during the reign, and she immediately dropped it to Julia. Fans were devastated how Zelina Vega's title reign turned out. But fans tried staying optimistic. They tried thinking that maybe Julia's reign will be the one that really gets the title up from the ground. But Julia's title reign feels like it's going through the same exact struggles that the prior champions went through. Julia has been United States champion for several months, but has yet to defend the title at any premium live event. So basically, Julia's done absolutely nothing important with this title this deep into her title reign. They can't even put the Women's United States title on a premium live event card. So although it's great to see the titles and see that there's a mid-card championship gold opportunity for the women's division, fans are just disappointed in the usage and booking of the titles so far. Originally, mid-card titles were looked as the stepping stones to get superstars to the next level, to help transition them into being a world title caliber superstar, and so far, none of the prior mid-card women's champions have been elevated at all. Lyra, Chelsea, and Zelina are pretty much in the exact same spot that they were prior to winning their respective mid-card titles, and fans just think that it shouldn't really be like that. Well, Chelsea Green recently spoke with Cinema Blend, and she did not hold back her feelings on how the mid-card titles are being treated right now in WWE. Chelsea Green had this to say about the topic, quote, "I definitely am so happy that we introduced those titles, because I felt like for a long time we were missing opportunities for a bunch of the girls. We have such a stacked roster between Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I mean, now we've got ID, we've got Evolve, we've got LFG. We have so many different brands, and we just didn't have enough titles to really represent all the girls and the variety of women, you know? And so I'm very happy that we got them. I think that there have been a beautiful addition in terms of getting people in the mix, getting women to have a spot on TV. Do I think we're doing all we can with them? No. I would love to see more being done with them. I want Julia to be wrestling on TV every single week with that title. I want Zelina on TV every single week. I want Mission to win the title and be on TV every single week. There's so many hours at WWE, and we can find a place for those championships if we try. It's tough. I'm not part of the creative meetings. I don't know how that looks. So all that I can do on my end is make sure the title means something. I hope that by putting it out there on social media and making storylines on social media, it garners the attention that those titles deserve." End quote. And Chelsea's completely nailed it with saying everything that she said. She appreciates the title for existing, but believes that more could be done to showcase the title and get people deeply invested in its championship. Chelsea explained that's why they need to try to create some social media buzz and social media storylines when she was champion, just to spark attention that the title deserves. So Chelsea wants to see more done with the title. The fans want to see more with the title. We just have to wait and see if the Women's United States title and its booking improves in the future, because things are extremely rough there at the moment. Lola Vice recently had her third opportunity for the NXT Women's title, and Lola was saying how this was going to be the match where she breaks through and wins the title. But Lola had her dreams crushed during that title match when she was suddenly attacked by a hooded figure that costed her the match. The hooded figure was not revealed at NXT No Mercy itself. It looks like they wanted to keep that a mystery and use it as a way to get fans to tune in for the reveal on NXT. But the early leaked reveal came from WWE themselves. On their official website, the WWE article labeled Lainey Reed as the culprit for the hooded attack on Lola Vice. The article was quickly deleted and edited to remove the accidental reveal. But given that the name is out there now, and given some of the recent events that have unfolded, fans feel like they have an idea where this could be headed now. Jacy Jayne has been leading her faction for a while now in NXT, but they abruptly had to write Jasmine Nix out of the group after Jasmine couldn't come to an agreement with WWE for a new deal, leaving a massive gaping spot in Jacy's faction. It's looking like Lainey Reed has been brought into the faction to replace Jasmine. When Jasmine was written off with the attack, Jacy and Fallon were made known that they didn't care about what happened to Jasmine and how it was about time they got rid of her anyway. So it's looking like Jacy brought in Lainey Reed, expecting her to be even more dominant and have a bigger impact than Jasmine. And so far, so good. Lainey Reed's time with Fatal Influence got off to a great start, considering that she literally saved Jacy Jayne's title reign from ending to Lola Vice. So Fatal Influence just got stronger, and it's going to be another big obstacle on Lola's road to the NXT Women's title. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.